Item Number SCP-7000 Object Class Cicada Special Containment Procedures. Dormant eggs of SCP-7000 are to be stored in a soundproof, environmentally controlled enclosure measuring 5 by 5 by 5 meters. The containment cell is to include several leafy plant species to feed SCP-7000 instances during active phases. All staff working with SCP-7000 are required to wear earplugs. During an active phase, the door to the enclosure is to remain sealed. SCP-7000 is not to be stored at any site with other Cicada-class anomalies or on-site nuclear warheads. All wild instances of SCP-7000 are to be neutralized. Agents carrying out the neutralization of wild SCP-7000 instances must wear earplugs or be deaf. Staff assigned to SCP-7000 neutralization must take any measures possible to minimize the effect of random chance on their work while carrying out their assignments. Description: SCP-7000 is an anomalous species of cicada in the Midwestern United States, closely related to the 17-year cicada species. SCP-7000 is identical to the 17-year cicada in all ways except for several differences in the temple, organ for producing sound found on cicadas, on the dorsal side of the insect. SCP-7000 follows the life cycle of periodical cicadas. It will lay large numbers of eggs that remain dormant for 8 to 10 years. A brood of these eggs will hatch within 1 week of each other. This creates a low population dormant phase, followed by an active phase, where the population will drastically increase and new eggs will be laid. The anomalous properties of SCP-7000 manifest when SCP-7000 produces sound using its tempo. Any subject capable of hearing will experience more detrimental outcomes to chance-based events. Simultaneously, SCP-7000 will experience more beneficial outcomes for chance-based events. The sound SCP-7000 creates seems to affect probability for the affected subject and the SCP-7000 instances through an unknown means. Recordings of the sound produced by SCP-7000 do not produce this effect. What is considered a detrimental outcome varies depending on the subject hearing SCP-7000. Animals subject to SCP-7000 sound will statistically find far less food and are significantly more likely to be injured by accidents. Humans affected by SCP-7000 experience statistically higher rates of injury, financial or property loss, medical complications, and unexpected loss of loved ones. Other SCP-7000 instances appear to be immune to this effect. Studies have shown that SCP-7000 seems to find more food, shelter, and mate when humans or animals have been affected by the sound it creates. SCP-7000 instances also evade capture and predation more often while under this effect. If no individuals capable of hearing SCP-7000 are nearby, then these beneficial effects will not be observed. The effect caused by the sound of SCP-7000 dramatically increased if individuals hear multiple instances of SCP-7000. The effect also increases the longer an individual hears SCP-7000. Subjects who have only heard one instance of SCP-7000 for under 10 minutes usually experience minor inconveniences, while subjects exposed to large numbers of SCP-7000 for longer periods of time usually experience life-threatening situations. The effects of SCP-7000 cause the most casualties and structural damage in highly populated areas. During their active phase, SCP-7000 instances tend to move towards highly populated areas. They seem to do this so that more individuals can hear the sound they produce. It is currently unknown if this is deliberate or the result of random chance. If a densely populated area becomes infested with SCP-7000 during an active phase, large-scale disasters and loss of life become more likely for the human and animal population of the affected area. This happens as a result of a series of statistically unlikely events culminating in a disaster. Events that have been linked to a high SCP-7000 population include, but are not limited to, industrial explosions, disease outbreaks, widespread fires, floods, riots, and data redacted. SCP-7000 instances are rarely harmed as a result of these disasters. The wild population of SCP-7000 has been steadily increasing since its time of discovery in 19 Beep. Research indicates that it is likely the result of increased human population and population density. This has also resulted in active phases causing more human casualties with each new generation of SCP-7000. Research also indicates that if populations continue to grow, a K-class scenario could become more likely not as a direct result of SCP-7000, but as an indirect result of its effects on probability. Wild SCP-7000 instances are difficult to neutralize due to their anomalous effects. Foundation staff assigned to neutralize wild SCP-7000 populations report far higher rates of equipment failure and accidental injury or death than should be statistically likely for such a mission. Foundation agents have been given earplugs which have mitigated the effects of SCP-7000 on the agents, but SCP-7000 instances are still successful at escaping and hiding from Foundation staff at a much higher rate than should be statistically possible. Eggs hidden by SCP-7000 are also far less likely to be found by Foundation staff. Research is underway to devise new containment measures that mitigate the influence of random chance while neutralizing wild SCP-7000 populations.